Hi, Tootsie Carlson here. The Criterion Collection's at it again, and today they're delving into the works of the legendary Howard Hughes. Long before Howard Hughes was wearing Kleenex boxes on his feet and pissing in mason jars, he was quite the man. He was inventing planes, he was setting aviation records, and he was even making movies. Criterion has given us a reissue and remaster of Hughes' most famous movie from 1930, Hell's Angels, starring Jean Harlow. I'm going to unbox this release and share my opinions. Nice cover art there with a close-up of Harlow, and you got the biplanes and the Zeppelin going down. That's great art. There's our spine text. Back cover. This is number 1288 in the Criterion Collection. We get this fold-out style insert. I really wish it had been a booklet instead. These are kind of annoying to put away. We have an essay, and we got a few photos and credits and things like that. We get a 4K Ultra High Def disc with the film, and a Blu-ray disc with the film, plus bonus features. Underneath the discs and the insert in there, you got another nice close-up of that Zeppelin scene. A high-flying feat of adventure filmmaking and a testament to the audacious, spare-no-expense vision of Howard Hughes, this landmark aviation epic remains exhilarating both for its daredevil aerial sequences and its nervy pre-code punch. With the onset of World War I, two British brothers recruited into the Royal Flying Corps find their bond tested by their differing attitudes toward the war and their love for the same woman. The product of a notoriously long and dangerous production that resulted in the deaths of multiple crew members, Hell's Angels broke new technical ground, making use of early sound and color technologies and capturing some of the most thrilling dogfight scenes ever filmed. Confession time. This was actually my first time ever seeing Hell's Angels, and that's very unusual given that, like I always say in my videos, my father's a retired airline pilot, so I've seen all kinds of aviation movies over the years. Hell's Angels is certainly one that I was curious about, and I'm glad Criterion finally gave this one a 4K release. The movie, of course, revolves around two brothers who become pilots during World War I when Germans began attacking England, and they have to step up and do their duty, including dealing with things like a Zeppelin attack and having to take an enemy plane undercover behind enemy lines for a bombing mission they may not even come back from. And of course, the two find themselves both in love with the same woman, portrayed by a gorgeous young Jean Harlow. Random trivia: because this movie contains mostly black and white scenes but also has a few color and tinted sequences, it's the only color footage of Jean Harlow's. Now, unfortunately, the movie is not perfect. This was very clearly made as a silent film and then haphazardly rushed in to become a sound film to take advantage of the new technology following the release of the film The Jazz Singer, when silent films sort of went out of style. So Howard Hughes repurposed a lot of his old footage that he'd shot silently, but then also had new scenes directed with the dramatic story on the ground. Those sequences were actually directed by James Whale, the man who'd go on to direct the 1931 Frankenstein film. And I have to say, the acting in this film's a bit wooden, and you can tell it's a pastiche of both silent and sound footage, so it is a bit laughable in places, but you really have to admire the technical spectacle here. This is long before you had CGI, and you can easily cheat in that way to create convincing visual effects. Howard Hughes and his company had to go out and do all this stuff for real. Several pilots actually died in the production of this film, and even Hughes himself was injured attempting a stunt that the head pilots on the stunt team, Paul Mantz, warned him not to do. So, as a dramatic film, it is a bit hit and miss, but the aerial footage, including that Zeppelin scene I talked about, is absolutely haunting and fantastic. I also appreciate the fact that the movie, even if it does drag in some places, it could really use some further editing, doesn't feel obligated to give the audience the obligatory happy ending would expect, especially way back in that era. Hell's Angels is something of a mixed bag, but it's a mixed bag that has amazing aerial footage, and it truly is a testament to Howard Hughes' genius, both behind the camera and behind the wheel of an airplane. According to the package, this is a new 4K master. There is no Dolby Vision on this transfer. Picture quality here, again, does tend to be a little hit and miss because of the pastiche nature of the film, with a lot of older silent era footage that had sound added, along with newly filmed sound footage that was done for the dramatic story. So you have some shots that look very soppy, you have some that look crystal clear. It does seem a little odd having tinted sequences in a sound film. That'd be right at home in a silent film, but in a sound film, they do feel a bit out of place. That color sequence admittedly does not look the best. It does seem a little softer than a lot of the black and white and monochrome tinted footage. But overall, I am glad to see the film has at least been given some kind of cleanup. Reference material for your home theater this will never be, but mad respect to Criterion for doing what they do here. Supplement package is a little on the small side. We get a featurette on Howard Hughes, which features one of the men who worked on the Hughes biopic, The Aviator. We get a featurette on the career of Jean Harlow. But the holy grail here is about 5 minutes worth of outtake footage, which is narrated. Why this stuff survives, we'll never know, but it's good that we actually have it because it's a nice testament, again, to everything that went on behind the scenes and gives us another look at this production. Hell's Angels is Howard Hughes doing what he does best. The aerial footage is the best ever made. The acting and the story parts are a little wooden, but you have to admire this film for everything it attempts, sort of merging the worlds of silent film and sound film, bringing them all together in one gargantuan production that was unmatched in its era. I mean, back then, this movie cost close to $3 million to make, which was a ton of money back then. So I can very highly recommend this one to aviation buffs and fans of classic cinema. How about you? Are you a fan of Hell's Angels? Do you think this is the greatest thing that Howard Hughes ever did with his long and illustrious career? Do you think he should have made more movies? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content. I'm always posting new videos. And make sure you give this one a like if you found it helpful. I'm T. Carlson. I'll see you next time.